I'm working on the back now. I've already joined the two halves of the Brazilian rosewood and worked them down to a thickness of just a little over 80 thousandths of an inch. And I've inlaid this center strip, strictly decorative. It'll match the bindings that go around the edges. So now I'll start putting braces on. The first one to go on is the seam reinforcement that it's just a flat little piece of mahogany that keeps the seam stable so I don't ever have to worry about it separating. Here's the center strip glued in, sanded smooth. Now it's time to do the 3 back braces. There are a lot of strong opinions about whether spruce is better or mahogany. I've done quite a few classicals with both kinds of brace wood, and I'd be hard-pressed to say that I can hear a difference if it's a spruce brace versus a mahogany brace. I definitely like the look of mahogany, and so that's what I've chosen to use on this guitar. The real function of the braces on the back of a guitar are to keep the back stiff so that it helps reflect all the sound, and weight isn't nearly as much of a consideration as it is on the soundboard. That's why spruce is used on the soundboard. It's because its strength to weight properties are desirable. But on a back, a few extra grams from a mahogany brace probably isn't going to make much difference. Might possibly stiffen the back a little bit more so that it reflects the sound off the back of the top of the guitar a little better. So for mahogany, I am fortunate to have a large supply of very old pieces of Honduran mahogany that originally were built into a house, and when the house was deconstructed a few years ago, I got all these pieces. They were drawer fronts. You can see screw holes in them from where this was mounted to the main frame of the drawer. And a lot of this mahogany is very nicely flat sawn on this face. And if it's flat sawn on the big face, that means when you turn it on its side, or on its end, the grain lines are running pretty much straight up and down, which is generally where you want them to be for a brace, quarter sawn orientation. So this one, I know it won't show in the picture, but it is very straight up and down. So I'm going to slice up a few of these pieces and then get them to the desired thickness, which is 7 millimeters. I'm going to wind up with braces that are 7 millimeters wide and 14 millimeters tall, and I will use my router to shape a 20-foot radius, or I'm sorry, a 10-foot radius of curvature into each brace. And then when I glue that curved surface to the back, it'll actually cause it to bow a little bit, so the back will be curved. It won't be just a flat piece. And again, I think that helps to reflect the sound off the back of the guitar and out the hole. The thing I forgot to mention about these braces and the source of them, the house that these came out of was 100 years old, and well, that was 15 years ago now. So this wood is incredibly stable. You don't find 100-year-old mahogany at any guitar supply place that I know of. And so by being that old, it is not only super dry, but it's really strong, yet lightweight and very stable. I mean, it's gone through 100 and some changes of seasons, so it's done all the expanding and or contracting it's ever going to do. So I'm really very happy to be able to use these braces in guitars. And the color of it is pretty phenomenal. You don't see new mahogany that's this rich and dark. It's all pretty pale, unless it's been stained. The three back braces are planed and chiseled down to roughly a triangular profile, a little flat right at the bottom edge. And now I'm going to scoop out the ends. I've got this just little stick for reference. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick. And I'll use that as a guide with my chisel so that all of the brace ends are a uniform height. That'll make it easier to fit the braces to the sides.